And now we'd like to welcome Angie Carpenter, Supervisor of the Town of Islip. Ed Romaine, Suffolk County Executive. Kevin Law, Chair of Empire State Development. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we welcome the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming out on this snowy morning. I think the county and the town did a great job getting the roads clear for all of us to get here, as well as for all of our residents here. So thank you and kudos to them. We have a really nice program today with some great news from the governor. I wanted to share a few words about the governor with you. First, want to acknowledge the fact that we're in one of the finest airports in the state of New York, Long Island MacArthur Airport. And that happens because of leadership, and that happens because of the leadership of Angie Carpenter and the fact that she hands-on goes and gets Breeze Airlines, JetBlue, Frontier, Southwest to give all these great new flying opportunities for Long Islanders. So let's give Angie Carpenter a big round of applause. You know, Angie and I have known each other for about 20 years, but we got really close last year when Ed Romaine made Angie and I the co-chairs of his transition team. And Angie and I worked every day for many days, hours, the entire Christmas vacation together, but we got really close, and I think we helped Ed and his team hit the ground running, and Ed is now in his second year, and how many think Ed Romaine is doing a great job as our county executive? So I wanted to share some things with you that you may not know about Governor Hochul. You know, there's about 19 million people in the state, which means there's about 20 million opinions on any particular issue at any time. But one thing we all need to agree on is that the governor has been amazing when it comes to economic development. And I see it firsthand as her chair of Empire State Development Corp. And I've seen work that the governor has initiated and completed from Western New York, where Buffalo now has the hottest real estate market in the state of New York. Central New York, where she helped lure Micron, a semiconductor company, which is going to create 25,000 jobs up in Central New York. The governor firsthand helping Albany become a nanotech center of the country and really creating lots of clean, high-paying jobs in the capital region. The governor then created a Mid-Hudson Momentum Fund to help the lower Hudson Valley reinvigorate and revitalize their communities. She's worked with the city of New York in helping get the city of Yes done to create thousands and thousands of units of housing in the city of New York. And when it comes to our region, the governor has been amazing. And I'm just going to go west to east, things that the governor has overseen in terms of completion or has initiated, which are all transformative for our region. And we'll start with Grand Central Madison, the nicest and newest train station in the country that allows Long Islanders to commute directly to the east side of New York. And if you haven't been there yet, it's absolutely beautiful. And it all happened, got under budget, on schedule during the governor's watch. Big round of applause to the governor there. Then the governor oversaw the completion of LaGuardia Airport, which is now the newest and nicest airport in the country. So that is amazing for our region. Go a little bit west. I was with the governor when the Islanders broke the ribbon on the beautiful brand new UBS Arena, which is when they were threatening to go to Kansas City and other places, they were helped by the state and they decided to stay here in Nassau County at UBS Arena. Right down the road, because of Governor Hochul's leadership, Belmont Park is going to be the horse racing premier facility in the entire country. That's under construction right now. It's going to be amazing. A little bit further east, just 2 months ago, I was with Governor Hochul as she announced groundbreaking, cutting-edge cell and gene therapy center in Lake Success, New York. It's going to be Nobel Prize-winning research that will go on there and will create a lot of cool jobs in the healthcare field. A little further east, I was with the governor last fall as she announced a major commitment to Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, where they are investing a $300 million campus expansion to work on things like pancreatic cancer and diabetes and other major issues that threaten our population. And the governor was there helping Cold Spring Harbor Lab. You then go to Stony Brook University, where the governor has named Stony Brook the flagship of the SUNY system and is investing monies in that amazing institution, which is the largest single site employer here on Long Island, and certainly in Suffolk County. And then the governor's commitment to helping BNL. You know, BNL attracts the $2.5 billion for the Ion Collider, but the feds wanted to see some skin in the game from the state. And Governor Hochul put some skin in the game from the state to make BNL's application to DOE more attractive and more competitive. And then I was with the governor twice when we broke ground, when we cut the ribbon on the first offshore wind project in the state of New York, known as South Fork, and then where I was with him when we broke ground on the Sunrise Wind project. She's a believer in offshore wind. She knows it creates good, paying, clean labor, jobs for our labor brothers and sisters, and that is also amazing. And then she created the Long Island Investment Fund, which is committed just for Long Island and for transformative projects on Long Island. And just in her budget this year, she put in more money to help mixed-use housing projects in Nassau and Suffolk counties get off the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Hochul not only understands our region of Long Island, she understands the communities, the towns, the villages, and the hamlets within our region. She understands our economy. She's been a tremendous cheerleader and a supporter of all of our collective efforts because we know this place is great. We know we love this place we call Long Island. And with the state's help and with Governor Hochul's help, we are making a lot of our plans over the last few decades come to a reality. And today, we're going to hear another special announcement from Governor Hochul that will also transform our region. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give Governor Kathy Hochul a big Long Island welcome.
Thank you. I only ask that that message doesn't get out to the other 9 regions about how much we've done here on Long Island, but this is a place that matters. It is one of the most unique, diverse places in our entire state in terms of the natural beauty. You think about the amazing wetlands, the parks inland, I've hiked to many of them, to our beautiful shores and the beaches. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. But also the charming little villages and hamlets that dot the other communities and really give it its charm and personality. And that means something to me as someone who spent 14 years in local government, and to all of our local government officials, I appreciate you. And town board is when you're most connected to the people. And a project where you make sure a housing project comes, or a child care center, or a new playground, or a new skate park that I put in. I did all of this in my local community knowing how important it is. So I'm really proud to be back on Long Island again. And last time I was here, I had a chance to ride the railroad. Took the Long Island Railroad out here from Grand Central, Madison. It was extraordinary. I know they just opened up Melba's there today, which is a great soul food restaurant. I look forward to stopping there. But also, the Long Island Railroad has had its best performance in 200 years. I mean, that's pretty significant. You know, on-time performance has been extraordinary. And I'm pretty sure ridership is up. A lot more people are taking express buses into the city as well, and we're getting more efficient and getting the results we're looking for. But I do want to thank some of the people who helped make this happen. And Kevin, you've been a great, great leader for us as chairman of Empire State Development. I needed someone who understood the needs of the business communities, but was still integral in understanding across the state how transformative jobs are. When you bring a project or help a business grow, and to our friends in labor here, when they can build these projects, it gives people that strong sense of place that they do matter. And so to bring your perspective as a leader from the business community here on Long Island to the entire state has been indispensable to me. So let's give Kevin Law a round of applause as well. And partners do matter. Partners matter. The man who has embraced me probably more than any county executive who ever sat in his seat for sure, although Balone was pretty friendly too, I shouldn't say that. But Ed Romaine has made sure I felt welcome. That's his opening sentence when I walk into any space where you are always welcome here in Suffolk County, and I feel that. And it makes a difference in where we're going to help prioritize. When you have relationships that are so strong, you know that there's a level of trust. This is not about scoring political points. It's about working for the people. And that is the attitude that he's shown for the last couple of years, and I look forward to continuing to work with him for a long time. Our county executive, Ed Romaine. Angie Carpenter, a persuasive woman, I must say. She does not take no or even maybe for an answer, but we've had many meetings here. You have Karen Keogh, the Long Island resident, who native, who is my secretary of the governor. You have her on speed dial. You probably talk to her more than I do. Last night, okay. So there's a lot of exciting things. Just making sure, is this really going to happen? But Angie, you've been through a lot, and I really appreciate how you just still stay so focused on delivering for the people of this county. And I'm proud to announce that you have just been designated our latest pro-housing community because of your work. I said that as of yesterday. Thank you. And also, we have Dan Panico here, our supervisor for Brookhaven. Thank you, Dan, for joining us. Dennis Seary, president of the Suffolk County Village Officials. I had 2 little villages in my town, so I know how important our villages are. And also Robert Freed, the president of the Long Island Railroad. Well done, Robert. Well done. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. And the men and women of labor who build everything that matters. Ryan Stanton, the executive director of the Long Island Federation. Matty Arasich, president of the Nassau Building Trades. And Anthony Simon, the chairman of the Sheet Metal Transportation Union. Smart. So you heard all the times I've been here lately. Might as well get an apartment. Let's build some more so I can have some options. But we have a lot to celebrate today. We have a lot to celebrate today. And this marks a transformation of how Long Islanders connect with one another and really the rest of the world. MacArthur Airport has come a long, long way since 1942 when it was first built as a military installation. And I could not have been prouder when I saw that USA Today named this not just in the top 10, but the 3rd best small airport in America. I'm not just talking New York State, in America. They took note of the baggage claim areas and how beautifully welcome, how much light comes in, natural light comes in, and the access to what they described as the most beautiful place. The Hamptons, the Gold Coast, the wineries, the farmers markets, which are really second to none. Next level farmers markets. I'm a farmer market connoisseur, but this is tough to compete with. But they recognize what we already know. And if we continue investing in this airport, this facility, as we've done before, back in 2022, I announced $40 million. I was a pretty brand new governor, and I knew how important airports were because it's everything to be. It's that doormat to the rest of the world. They see you. and they come into a place that clearly a community is proud of and has investments in it, it's a good sign to businesses that we're trying to recruit here, as well as the hometown residents who deserve nothing but the best. So we committed the $40 million toward the new international terminal here at MacArthur. And today I'm here to announce we're building on that investment. How much better can we do? You haven't even heard it yet. $150 million to Suffolk County for the infrastructure to connect Ronkonkoma Station with the proposed North Terminal at MacArthur Airport. $150 million to get the job done. This is how you make the quality of life for Long Islanders, save time for them, and building connections for our visitors as well. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to let people know that this is, adding a pedestrian walkway from the station to right here. I mean, that is real convenience. People used to take an Uber before, right? They're taking an Uber now, they're getting a cab, they're taking a long walk. Let's just make it easier on people. I'm telling you right now, we get this done. I don't know who number 1 and 2 were, but watch out. We're going to be at that top of that list in just a short time because we're very competitive here. You know that. And we're redesigning the roadwork networks and the parking garages and the utility systems, and also allowing the town of Islip and Suffolk County to unlock the potential of 48 acres of land. Land is priceless, especially out here. But you can use that for all the ideas that you have. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do with this. I'm here to support your vision. And that is what I never saw much of when I was in local government, which is how I've transformed how Albany treats its localities, with respect, equal partners, and I don't want our vision imposed on you. You tell me what you want to see for the future of your community, so we can boost tourism and the local economy for years to come. And I'll continue making these investments. As I said, I spent a lot of time out here. When I first became governor 3 years ago, I made a commitment to people across the state, but here on Long Island, that I'm working hard to improve your lives at work and at home and at play. And we're really working hard to deliver on that promise. And what we've done, I want to talk about jobs. When you come from an area like Buffalo, we won't talk sports. There's always next year. And I appreciate those of you who are temporarily Bills fans in the last few weeks. But yeah, they're a good team. And I heard Kevin talk about how people had to endure the snow to get here. We measure snow in feet, okay? Literally, a short time after I became governor, we had, I'm not making this up, a 7-foot storm in my hometown over just a few days. I mean, imagine, I'm 5 feet, the snow is 7 feet up to your door, you're not going anywhere. So I appreciate all the effort to clean the roads, you did great. Kind of blow it away with your mouth. Sorry, I know you guys work hard, I shouldn't give you a hard time, but perspective is important too. But I wanted to create more jobs because I come from Buffalo. I'm so seared in the knowledge. What happens to a community psychology when the jobs leave? My grandparents were poor Irish immigrants at a time when they had to go out to South Dakota to be migrant farm workers. And then they became domestic servants in Chicago. And they found their way to the promised land of Buffalo, New York for one reason. They were jobs at the steel plant. Grandpa worked there with his tin bucket going off to work at 3 o'clock every day. My dad worked there. His brothers worked there. And all of a sudden, when those jobs left, it was like Northrop Grumman leaving Long Island. You lose your mojo. You lose your sense of identity for a long time. So when I can come back as governor with that experience seared in my brain forever, what it does to a community when you lose those jobs, anything I can do to create jobs, I am there. And you've brought forth many great projects. And on Long Island, since I've been governor, we've created over 50,000 new private sector jobs and saw the formation of 47,000 new businesses in 2023 alone. I mean, that says people want to be here. People want to be here. Unemployment, 3%. When I grew up, it was 17 to 20% where I came from. Jobs mean everything. That's the lowest of any metro region in New York State, 3%. And I heard this at countless roundtables with business leaders and elected officials. You need more housing. You don't want to be told what to do. I got it. But we talked about the carrots, right? You wanted carrots. You wanted incentives to build more. And we weren't even asking for a whole lot, but we have a metric that says if you're willing to be a pro-housing community, You have access to $650 million that is discretionary to fix up your main streets and do streetscapes and connections to the water and facades and bringing housing downtown, those small towns that have just one-story businesses. Well, why isn't there housing above it? I mean, this is what smart development is all about. It's not changing the character of your community. I don't want that to happen. But I also don't want this region to die because people, the kids, your children, your grandchildren, can't afford to live in the great community with the great schools that they grew up with. And they're going, you know where they're going? They're going to New Jersey and Connecticut. They're not going all the way to far away. They still want you to babysit on weekends. I'm a grandma, I know this. But think about that. How are we losing out? We've got the most beautiful place in the world to live because we didn't have the ambition, the courage to build housing. I'm proud of what's happening here. I am seeing a transformation, especially the transit-oriented development and what we saw at the station. Kevin, we saw, was it 1,400 jobs just around the corner here? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's 1,400 people who are now going to say, I'm planting the flag here. I'm not going somewhere else. That's what you want to have because communities can stagnate. Believe me, I saw this happen when everybody left where I came from. The downtowns were literally boarded up. My hometown was boarded up. At the time, my mother decided to start a small flower shop, and I would run it with her. This is what I come out of. I don't want to see that happen here. Build the housing, be smart about it, give people a place to live, and I'm talking about all levels. Luxury, market rates, mixed use, anything you want, affordable. I don't care, just build so we don't have to lose our kids anymore. And that's my plea to all of you, and I'm grateful, again, with Brookhaven stepping up and Islip and many other communities on Long Island. I really encourage you to do that because that's how you make sure that there's a place for your kids to stay. And I want to thank Angie again for making her community pro-housing. We're doubling down on this. We're also investing in our firehouses, our schools, creating more union jobs, apprenticeship programs, and just making Long Island more affordable. And I'm just going to give you a quick run through if anybody's asking what we're doing. I have found a path to put some families in the reach of getting $5,000 extra in their pockets because so many things have happened out of their control. Nobody foresaw after the pandemic, thought, it can't get any worse than this, right? And then we get slammed with inflation. Costs went up anywhere from 18 to 20% for everything. And heaven help if you're trying to buy eggs today. I mean, you better go to the ATM machine. It's insane. I shop in a little market around where I have an apartment in the city now, and it's like $15 for a little tube of toothpaste? And that's not something you can compromise on. I hope you don't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting impossible. It's getting impossible. So how about some inflation relief? How about a middle-class tax cut, the largest percent decrease in 70 years? How about saying that, yes, there's a one-time surplus in money? And that's, I have to reinforce it, one time. This is not recurring. I hope it's not. Because we calculated, because of the high cost of inflation, everything that costs more, the state of New York collected $3 billion more than they anticipated. That's a lot of money. And if I knew it was coming every year, we could do different things. But I'm saying that came out of the pockets of New Yorkers. Where does it belong? It belongs back in the pockets of New Yorkers. So we're going to do an inflation rebate for families, $500. And if you don't think that means a lot to someone, walk into a grocery store and say, how would you feel if you had $500 more in your pocket for this grocery bill? It means a lot to people. I've gone there. I've asked people. So we're going to do that. And for people with families, my God, it's so expensive. Got a little granddaughter now, and the clothes, there's a reason it says 3 months to 6 months, 6 months to 9 months, because they keep growing. You're constantly buying new clothes, right? Little tiny sneakers, they get bigger. They need bigger ones. They need new ones. Eventually, they need backpacks. They need all the things that a kid in school needs. So we're going to have a child tax credit to put $1,000 in the pockets of families with ages 4 and under when it's very expensive, $500 for kids in school. That adds up as well. And then we're also picking, I announced this here on Long Island, picking up the cost of school lunches, their breakfast, to say, I understand for many reasons this makes sense, because there's a stigma attached to this. And I heard this from an elected official on Long Island who you'd be surprised who told me this, who said, I was that child growing up who had to stand in a separate line to get my subsidized breakfast, and I skipped lunch every day because I was too ashamed. I carry that with me as an adult. but also a lot of families to not have to take the time to make breakfast and lunch. That's time back for the parents who I know are so harried and busy. And it equates to about $1,600 a year per child. Add it all up, my friends, a couple little kids or a couple kids in school, that's almost $5,000 in your pockets. By the end of this year, I need your support to get this through the budget. I need your support for this. And we're going to keep building more child care centers, $110 million to build more child care centers, because I want to see more women in the workplace. And that is the only barrier that's keeping them back. So I have given you a lot of information about my priorities, but I'm standing here today because my priority right now is building back the state, building up Long Island to reach its full potential. And my belief is you have the elected leaders, the relationships with labor, the community partners that you have, and this incredible asset, this jewel of an airport, and the Long Island Railroad that's been here for 200 years. You've got it all. There are no excuses, so let's get it done. Thank you very much. With that, let me bring up our great county executive, Ed Romaine.
Well, I have two things to say to start. Welcome to Suffolk County once again. Always a pleasure. And the second thing is thank you. Thank you. Elected officials have a special obligation that once they take office to work together for the common good. I appreciate the governor's investment in Suffolk County. Notice the sign, Suffolk County taking flight. Well, we don't fly without the wings of many people that lift us up, without a great town supervisor and town board, without a great governor, working together to do things. Thank you for your commitment. As you know, the county has said we will put at least $50 million into infrastructure. We want to create good-paying union jobs that help do our community proud. We want to make sure that Suffolk County moves forward. Governor, thank you for your visit. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to working with our county legislators here who are my partners. I do not govern this county alone. I have 18 legislators, and they are a pleasure to work with. And we are united in moving this county forward, in creating jobs, in building communities, in making sure that we create a future for this island. And your presence today helps that. I look forward to working with Angie Carpenter and the members of the Islip Town Board to make sure that this area, around the airport, around the train station, will become the new transportation hub of Long Island, and will build industries that will lead us forward. So I appreciate it. See Kara in there. Kara, how are you doing? She's our local economic development person for the state of New York. But we are committed to working together. And we are committed to the future of this county and the future of this island and the future of New York State. Because together, we will pave a path to success and economic prosperity, and most importantly, and the governor, and I listened to her talk from her heart about her past and how important jobs are. Jobs are critical. And we have to create jobs. We have to create a brighter future. We have to create housing. We have to create those things that build communities. So together, with my county legislators, guys and gals, thank you, together with the Islip Town Board and the Islip Town Supervisor, together with the governor and our state government, we go forward to build the future that we deserve. Thank you, Governor, and welcome to Suffolk.
Thank you so much, County Executive Romaine. It really is a pleasure to have a real partner in county government. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here this morning, to be welcoming the governor, along with the members of the town board, our airport commissioner and deputy commissioner, Councilman Lorenzo, whose district that we're in. This is an incredible asset. And what I think is so important to say is that I see this as a major step towards ensuring a bright future for Islip, for the airport, and for all of Long Island. And two, with a strong Long Island comes a strong state, with a governor who really, really cares. And if there was any question about whether or not she loved Long Island, I was up at the State of the State address, and there was a reception for the Long Island contingent, and the governor's husband was there. And she said, and my husband loves Long Island. So I went over and chatted with him and introduced myself and said I was very, very happy to hear that. And I'm hoping that we see more of a connectivity between Albany and Islip, and hoping that we see a flight from Islip to Albany and back. And he thought that was a great idea. Yes, I know. There are many people who would love that. And we have a representative here today from JetBlue, and I'd like to introduce you to her, Governor, because we're going to put that on their radar. On behalf, again, of my colleagues on the town board, I want to thank you for your leadership and for continuing to reinvest in our region. And she cares about jobs, but she cares about the environment, and invested the state under her leadership. The governor was down here announcing a $10 million grant for our hatchery. So we thank you for that. That is feeding, oysters into the bay that are filtering 50 gallons of water in the bay, cleaning up our waters. That's happening all the time and happening much more effectively because of that investment. Commercial development at Ronkonkoma South represents an incredible opportunity for the region and certainly maximizes the potential of our regional airport. And with this investment, we are laying the foundation for long-term economic growth, bringing in the kind of high-quality jobs and creating new opportunities for our young professionals to make sure that they stay here. When I first ran for office, I ran for the county legislature, and my slogan was fighting to make Suffolk County a great place to live, not leave. And that hasn't changed, although I've broadened it now, and we're fighting to make New York a great place to live, not leave, and it is a great place. This is a pivotal moment. I'm excited about what's ahead. I thank you all for being here, and thank everyone who has worked so hard to make this day possible, to the crew here at the airport who literally worked overnight clearing the flakes of snow. And making reference to Buffalo, I had quite a few, do you think it's going to be on in the morning and everything? You think the governor's really going to come? I said, she's from Buffalo. Yes. We don't have to worry. And we didn't have to worry. So I look forward to seeing and having more of this happening here in our region. Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you, everyone, for being here, because as corny as it sounds, teamwork makes the dream work, and we have lots of dreams, and they're going to come true. Thank you so very much.